Well, I just crossed the border back into the U.S. here in New York at Queenston-Lewiston Bridge, heading back towards Ohio. Gonna race Yes tonight. Put my foot in my mouth. I do that sometimes. I don't know if you noticed. I told Ron Steck, a trainer over here, that I would happily drive. If you guys remember, the night we raced all the horses at Urbana, I won a stake race on a catch drive, a 2-year-old trotting colt. And we were originally, Jason wanted to go to the fair that is tomorrow. Now, we opted for Canton, Ohio Fair on Wednesday. But on Tuesday, we had raced at that fair last year. I was just thinking of the name of it now. I can't remember it. It'll come to me. Anyway, the gentleman had called and said, hey, where's your next fair? We're going to enter this colt. And I said, we're going to Mount Gilead. Told you I'd remember it. Last year we raced at Mount Gilead, very nice town, and it happens to be, I think if I'm not mistaken, Ron Steck's home fair. He said, oh, great, I'll enter the colt. Calls me today and he says, hey, you guys don't got anything in Mount Gilead. He said, I listed you on that colt, and we have a bunch of other ones in, but you don't have anything in. I'm like, Jason, Jason and I talked about it, and we changed our mind. We're going to Canton. He said, oh. Now, obviously, he knows I'm not there. So, I know what's coming next. Hey, would you mind coming to Mount Gilead? I did tell the gentleman that I would go. So, I don't want to be a schlep. So I said, yeah, all right. So tomorrow, I was going to have the day off. I am going to train a bunch of horses in the morning. But then I am going to go to Mount Gilead. Got to be a man of my word. I do what I can when I can, and I said I would be there, and I'll go. So tomorrow I'm going to go to the fair just to drive at the fair tomorrow. In Mount Gilead, Ohio, he said it's an hour and 20 minutes from Northfield. I think he may have been fibbing a little bit. I'm thinking it's closer to an hour and a half or more. But I'll go. I'm happy to go. And then Wednesday we're going to Canton, Ohio. So never been to the Canton Fair, so that's cool. We've been to a lot of new fairs this year. There's so many, you don't realize it until you hear how many fairs there are. It just seems like there's hundreds of them, and a lot of fun. So I'm going to Mount Gilead tomorrow, Canton on Wednesday, then back to Northfield Wednesday evening, back to Canton, I believe. Back to Canton on Thursday for Confederate Cruiser, and I see Voyage of Ice and Fire's Indigo. My indecisiveness has led to an entry. He made that break and frustrated me on Luke Ebersol's last start, and I almost just said, just take him to the farm and turn him out. But he just frustrated me with the breaks, and I hadn't made my mind up, so Jason had just went and put him in. One way or another, he's going to trot that little bugger. He's going to trot at Canton on, I must be, Thursday, I guess. Thursday. He'll trot. So, some great news. I didn't tell anybody I was doing this, but at the last minute, I put 2 and 2 together, realized that World for Two was racing at Georgian Downs. It's almost time for a little colt to come in at a Dewey Ann by my MVP. Hey, can you pick him up? I didn't tell any of you I was doing this. Not only did I pick him up, but I broke him and I jogged him today. So we have video of it. What a sweet little colt. His mom was small. She was a little offset in her knees, but pretty well bred and an absolutely great attitude. I loved Dewey Ann. I know she wasn't fast. She only had that one win, but I loved that filly. And we bred her to my MVP. Now we have the yearling, who's now broke and jogging. We have the weanling filly by my MVP. I was a little embarrassed. I didn't even know the gender until I spoke to Jeff Ruck. And because Jeff was on the ball, I was giving her the whole year off. Wasn't going to breed her. Just wanted to get her, but you don't want to keep having May foals and June foals. So I was going to give her the whole year off. Jeff caught her on her full heat, which makes it an April foal this year, coming, this next 2022. So we have a foal, a bun in the oven of little Dewey. So the colt's not tiny. He's going to be a good-sized colt. He's not going to be giant, but he's going to be a good-sized colt, and he is perfectly correct. So we do have a video of him jogging today. Now we have a number of videos. Nellie made videos of all of our horses today that jogged. So we have videos of the My MVP colt, I believe My 1%. We have the video of Dreaming on Credit, I believe his name is, little credit colt. He looked awesome. And then the other filly, the chunkier filly, the Wheelin' and Dealin' filly, Cash Deal, she looked great too. Have videos of all three for you guys. Now, I'm driving. I can't obviously send the videos to Kelly and have them all chopped up, but we'll get it out to you. We'll get them out to you. Just so happy with the way they were today. And Jeff was so shocked that I don't know why, maybe he acted shocked, but he seemed shocked that we had them in the harness already, and jogging. But he was awesome today. So really impressed. And I wanted to reach out to you guys originally to thank you for the feedback. Lots of feedback on how we can tweak the partnerships moving forward. One gentleman had sent in a note. Ed had sent in a note saying, why don't you have them done by jurisdiction for the majority of the sales coming up? That's a great idea. Obviously, New York is a sticking point. There are some clients that want New York breds or don't mind New York breds, but there's lots of clients that don't. So to stuff those horses into their partnership, I guess we'll call it portfolio, would be a little unfair. Sure, they have the opportunity to sell the horse, but a little unfair. So maybe we could look into that. Maybe Indiana also. We'll see. But a good note by Ed. I don't know why I never thought of that up front, but a great note. Obviously, somebody else was saying, hey, I like the idea of a $500 buy-in partnership or a $300 buy-in partnership, but who picks the horses that go in there? Come on, I pick the horses that go in there. For those of you out there, I know, I know you guys want to pick the horses that go in there, but at the same time, you have no idea if they're the one or not. I don't, so you definitely don't. And I think if you're really dead set against some trotting colt or a pacing filly in your portfolio, in your personal stable, let's call it, then the great thing about the partnerships is it allows you to sell that share if you want. If you don't want that share, sell it. And there should be, you guys are going to see a much more aggressive sale board. It'll be different than it's ever been before. Instead of having a small select group of people using the back end site to maneuver around and move shares, everyone will be able to use the back end site and be on the back end site. It should make for a much more entertaining winter, if nothing else, to watch people buying and selling these shares. So rather than saying, well, I would rather be able to pick my horses, you will. You just have to do it in a different way. And I understand, again, I did get a couple emails from people saying, I like the way it used to be, where you bought them and we then picked them out. I need you guys to understand that isn't easy for me to do. If I had $1 million line of credit or a $500,000 line of credit, fine. I could do that. But I don't. And I hope this leads to you understanding exactly how stressful, how difficult, how complex, and how frustrating sometimes it was to build the stable. I can't keep doing that. I can't keep going out, putting all the money up front, working out deals with farms and clients and buyers and sellers to, sure I could. I don't want to. That's what it boils down to, is that I think that here at the stable, we've proven our mettle. We've proven our ability to find affordable horses, and then further to that, develop talented horses and race horses in a competitive way. I think we've earned that. I think we've done enough to show that we can do that in a professional manner. So although this may not be the easiest way for you, overall, all things considered, it most definitely is the easiest way moving forward. So for those of you out there saying, I like the old way, listen, I get it. Maybe there'll become a day when I will have a $500,000 or $1 million line of credit, and we can work something out where it's sitting on the open market the way it was. I just can't be stuck with so many shares to move every year. It's just very difficult for me to do. And I know that doesn't truly explain what I've gone through over the last 5 years. I don't need to, lay it out on the table for everybody. Just trust me when I tell you, it was taxing. It was taxing on me. So that is where we're at. That is why we're here. And quite frankly, I think although the apparatus in which we purchase, maneuver, buy, sell horses within the stable will change a little bit, I think it may actually change for the better. So for those of you out there saying, well, I'll have no shares left for the horses I want, there might be lots of shares left for the horses you want. In fact, it might be a little bit reduced. If I bought 12 horses and I think that Anthony did a good job buying 8 of them, and I wanted to move the other 4 immediately, you might actually find a discount on the private market. That may sound a little far-fetched to you, but I don't think it is at all. I've seen how many of you maneuver on the markets. Keep in mind, I get every email. Everybody, I see what everybody does on the market. So I don't think it's that far-fetched at all. So I appreciate and applaud and thank you all very, very much for your input. It was much needed, much appreciated, and keep it coming. Because, as I said, you guys are smart enough to know, we're all grown-ups here. What we set out for the Ohio sale, that's the start of it, right? I put in place, with the help of Eric, a partnership that makes sense. But is it perfect? No, there's no reason to believe it's perfect. I'd like to continue to improve on it, make it better. We have Ontario sales coming. We have Harrisburg coming. We have Lexington coming. So how we maneuver right now, the mechanism in place for us, for you, to maneuver in the stable.ca heading into the Ohio sale, I was surprised how quickly the lots sold out, how aggressive people were in buying them, the demand for them, even now that they're sold out. I was surprised. You guys continue to surprise me. So, let's move forward as a group. We've had a great year. Nobody can deny that. As a whole, sure, you can say, oh, this horse didn't do as well as I hoped, or that horse, or, but at the same time, as a group, we've had a great summer. I have anyway. And if you haven't, I apologize, but I just don't know which way that would be. So, the end of the season for stakes is upon us. It's coming up quickly for our people in Pennsylvania. As I said, Taiwan On is done racing on Friday. That was quick. Amor Diener done racing on Sunday, and somebody said, well, hold on a second. Amor Diener's eligible to like 2 or 3 more stakes. Come on. Those are Grand Circuit stakes, and although Amor Diener could compete in them, I don't really have much interest in going to get, beat up. I don't want to get my horses beat up, and there is a thin line between being able to compete with better horses and not, and he's on the wrong side of that fence right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. Having a 2-year-old trotter that can trot 57, likely can trot 56, is awesome, but putting him in with horses that are going to trot 54 or 55, well, that's a fool's errand, and not one that we're going to do. So I understand that Amor Diener has had a decent year, could have had a better year. We all could have had a better year. But he's proven he's a pretty decent horse. Parked the whole mile, took a mark at 57 as a 2-year-old on a 5/8 mile track. I can think of a lot worse horses and lines than that. Been a pretty good horse all year. So his season is done Sunday, although Slim Jimmy and Sweet on Pete still have one more race after the final. Their season's coming close. Bomb Hugger, her New York stakes end next Friday, a week from this Friday, but she does have freehold shortly after that. Kentucky, same thing. We're coming to the end now, the last quarter of a mile for our stake season, and waiting there at the finish line for us is sale season. So a lot going on right now. It was so good to get home. Man, oh man, I missed my kids. It was great to hang out with them. I got to go over to Curtis. His little girl had her birthday party, so I got to visit with a lot of the friends I never see anymore. Certainly haven't seen in a while, so that was great. It was a great feeling. Hang out with Curtis and James and Jamie, Paige, and wife, and everybody else. It was great. Got to go to lunch today with Jody Jameson, hang out with him. It's good to catch up with everybody, but it's good to get back to work. We've had a great year, and I'm certainly not going to rest now. Always looking for more, always looking ahead, trying to get things done. Now I have had a couple of more emails, asking for just a little more clarification on the Ohio partnership. So although it's sold out, I'm going to lay it out one more time, really quick for everybody. Theoretically, there would be 100 lots sold. That would be 1% of every horse we bought up to $250,000 USD at the Ohio sale. We've taken and sold 75 lots. Those 75 lots, inside each lot, will be 1% of every horse we buy at the Ohio Select sale on September 17th, I believe. The remaining 25 shares of every horse we buy will be put on the market, but it will be closed. And for 72 hours, only the people that bought into the partnerships will be allowed to buy those shares. I understand there's a lot of people saying that's unfair, but it is. Because I had to make sure that we had a proper and a fair incentive for people that pre-purchased, bought into the partnerships, something for them to say, oh, that makes sense. So that's the incentive, is that 72-hour window. After that 72-hour window, it's a free-for-all. All the remaining shares of all the horses we bought go up on the stable.ca and ca.com for everyone to purchase, both clients and prospective clients. Now, inside every lot that was pre-purchased will be 1% of every horse we bought. Those shares will be able to be sold privately on the back end of our site, on the market, for sale board, but they will be locked for 14 days. None of our clients that own the lots will be able to sell them. The reason being, I want to give you an incentive, but there's still me also. I want to make sure that everybody buys the remaining 25% of every horse up, or as many as they can, before you start jumping in and buying the private ones. I'm sorry, but there has to work both ways. So 75 lots are sold out. The 25 shares will be available for the first 72 hours to the lot holders. After that 72 hours, it will be open to everyone that would like a share. Everyone. And then 14 days after that, if you see that you didn't get the share that you wanted in the horse you wanted, don't worry, because it'll be private shares for sale also after 14 days. So that is the Ohio Partnership. If you need any further clarification, please text me. Please call me, email me, and we'll work it all out so it's crystal clear for everybody. So thank you again for the input as to the partnership and how you think it should go, how it would make sense to you. We've had a number of people with a number of great ideas message me, whether it be buying on a scale, making sure that everybody can get involved, or whether it be buying jurisdictionally. That made sense too, Ed. But we'll get into it. Don't worry. We have lots of time. It's not even the 1st of September. We already have the 17th sale closed. That is a great feeling, and I truly appreciate the confidence that everybody has in us. So, on my way to Ohio, we still got a huge summer and fall ahead of us. Got to switch back and forth gears from racing to sales. We've done it in the past. We'll continue to do it this year. Good luck to everybody racing this weekend. Good luck to the Yes Group tonight, and I'll be watching for 3 Point Blue Chip tomorrow also. Lots of horses to watch race in the near future here at the stable. So we'll talk to you all very soon. I hope you had a great weekend. I did 100% had a great weekend. I hope you have a better week this week. Take care.